Okay, we're going to take a quick look at race 3 from Warwick Farm on Wednesday. We've got two here that we think that we can back to oppose the favourite. The favourite in the race is the top weight Demitasse from the Paul Massara yard. Currently, if we have a look at the betting market, Demitasse is a 2.60 favourite. The two that we want to be backing here to oppose it are the 5 Vanellope, which goes around at 4.40. The lightly raced Kingman 3-year-old filly, and also the 8 Demitasse, the value long shot contender in the race at 23.0 and 4.4. We're going to back Vanellope as the major elect, and we're also going to nibble at Demitasse on an each way basis for a result across the race to potentially overturn the favourite Demitasse. The first important factor about this race is that it's likely to be run at a slow tempo with only one seen leader engaged. That's going to play against Demitasse, who's a 4 from 9 winner, comes into this last start off a second on the Kensington track behind Strombus. DiMaggio back in third, beaten 1.24. It's likely to get back to midfield or worse in this small field, and the pace scenario is likely to be against it. We'll go and have a look at the two that we're going to be backing to oppose it. The first of them is the 5, the major elect, well-bred lightly race improver, 3-year-old filly by Kingman, leading Great Britain UK sire, ran second in the 2000 Guineas to Night of Thunder back in its 3-year-old year, out of a Fastnet Rock mare, Fastnet Sun. Comes into this first up from a spell on the back of breaking its maiden last time out over 1,400 metres at Warwick Farm when it knocked off Gargo and Zakia. Highly impressive that day, coming from well back. Green, lightly raced, good scope for more, likely to have come on since spelling as the breed tend to do. If we go and have a look at the breeding of this one firstly, as I said, by Kingman, leading UK sire, son of Invincible Spirit, and probably the major line, the major tree or the major line of the Invincible Spirit tree in the Northern Hemisphere, while we've got I'm Invincible down here as our champion side down the Invincible Spirit line. Out of a Fastnet Rock mare, Fastnet Sun. If we trace back to the second and the third dam of this one, it's where it starts to get interesting. The first and the second dam both have had limited opportunities so far. But if we go back to the third dam, Palace de l'Opera, the Sadler's Wells mare, she has side the 7 from 14 winner by Indian Ridge Imperial Stride, 126 Racing Post rated, and also the full relation to that horse High Pitch 119 Racing Post rated, and another 2 high class stakes performers in the form of Hullebeck, Successful Sire, and Zero Tolerance by Nash One. So the family has plenty of black type once you get back to the second and third dam, suggesting that there's still plenty of scope in this family. This one nicks well to that line. I'm just going to go and show you a replay of the maiden win of this one, Vanellope. Warwick Farm over 1,400 back on the 26th of January. Visually highly impressive this day. Okay, as they start to move along, this is Vanellope back here on the inside. Settles slightly worse than midfield. Even tempo on the front end.
Trainer, and Bar Mirror travelling strongly goes to third in advance of Lady Percival's well position. Then came Wild Calm back on the inside of Gargo. They're followed after 2 lengths.
Oh, sorry, this is Vanellope back here on the outside.
And 2 lengths away, Battalion
second last.
So Mr. Wallace leads, approaching the home corner by a neck here on the Englishman, grinding away, getting closer on the outside.
Gangly Action gets to the outside, lets down well as others chase it home. Strong through the line. Clearly superior in deep stretch. So this is Vanellope getting to the outside here in the white cap.
Coming around the turn, the Englishman puts the head in front now from Mr.
Love the action of this one. Still got a lot to learn. Runs about once it gets clear.
Many chances here. Gargo and Vanellope.
Goes straight past Gargo. This one chases home for third.
They're fighting it out now with Vanellope going home better than Gargo, and Vanellope won it by a half.
Runs about close on the line. Still a lot to learn. That's a good win. Now the form references through the second and the third horse home stack up strongly. They're the form references that you want to look look at when assessing the scope for more of this one. Comes through a soft trial 4th of 5 at Hawkesbury in prep for its return behind Grace Bay and Zeethlis, both smart types, only beaten 0.6 lengths from the Kieran Maher and David Eustace yard. Draws the 1 alley, likely to settle closer to a slower tempo here today over the 1300, and at the 4.40 qualifies as a major elect. The other one that we're interested in that we're going to nibble at on an each-way basis in support is Bella Tavaci, 23.0, 4.4. Ships over from New Zealand, lightly raced improver. By Tavaci out of the O'Reilly mare Novelty. She traces back to a good Savabeel mare. I'll get into the breeding of this one in a second. From the Chris Waller yard, Sports a crossover noseband first time, which is fairly important when you see the way that it won its maiden at Avondale over 1200 on a heavy track back on the 23rd of November. First up from a spell, having its first start in Australia after shipping over the ditch. As I said, Chris Waller trains, gets in decently weighted with 57 kg. This maiden win stacks up nicely, but it's how it won the maiden visually that is the most important factor. I'm just going to go and pull that up now. So this is Bella Tavaci breaking its maiden.
And one of the first away, Roughhouse Rosie out wide, Bella Tavaci closer in with the chrome.
Okay, drifts back, settles back a bit
with it on the inside
as they sell. Gets a good stalking trip behind 3 leaders on the front end. High carriage head action. Still has a lot to learn. Shows enough initial speed to be close enough to the front end. Switches back to the inside, gets clear in mid-stretch, then wanders about, a little bit green, still a bit to learn. So this is Bella Tavaci here on the rail, stalking the 3 leaders.
And with it is Roughhouse Rosie, but they've only been 5 lengths over them right from the outset. As they're
this one shifts off the rail.
400 metres to go. Amberana, the leader, tackled out wide.
High carriage head action, as I said. The crossover noseband's going to help that. Gets up on the inside. Stays on strong once it gets clear. And holds a margin on the closes. Starts to wander about and shift out here under a little bit of pressure. Ease close home. Good win. So both of the videos of both these are visually impressive to suggest good scope for more. The major elect that we want to be backing once again is the 5 Venelope, 4.4, 1.65. Back it to win, and also nibble at the 8 Bella Tavaci, 23.0, 4.4. We're just going to take a quick look at the breeding of Bella Tavaci. By Tavaci, the good son of High Chaparral, is capable of getting a good sprinter. Out of the O'Reilly mare Novelty, traces back to the second dam Promenade, who only started twice. She was placed 2 from 2 in New Zealand. She was decent herself. Behind figure again at Wanganui, then went to Waverley and was second to Lozan in her short career before injury cut short her career. But the most important thing on the breeding of this one, once you get back to the 3rd dam, River Century, she was absolute top class as a producer, getting 2 stakes winners of 9 stakes races, including both of them being Group 1 winners in the form of Gyno, who won the Western Australian Derby, and also Legs, who won the Kelp Capital Stakes and the New Zealand Oaks. So once again, both of these well-bred, good scope for more, lightly race improvers in leading yards, and we feel that they're both decent chances of overturning the short price favourite Demitasse, who has a little bit against it at the price. So that is Randwick Race 3 on Wednesday. Thanks.